Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
What is the halacha, the law, if one was about to say the bracha of Hamotzi on a piece of bread, on challah, or on a cracker, a piece of mezonos, and accidentally he recited the bracha of Beirei Pri Ha'adamo? Does he fulfill his obligation with such a changed blessing, or must he repeat the correct bracha of Hamotzi on bread or mezonos, on mezonos products, in order to be allowed to eat it? In the case of Hamotzi, where one is starting a meal with bread, this question is especially pertinent due to the fact that the bracha of Hamotzi doesn't only cover the eating of bread, but covers the eating of all the foods relevant to the meal, as is known. And hence, if one is not yotze with the bracha of Adam or said on bread, it ends up that not only is he eating bread without a blessing, but in fact he's eating the entire meal without a blessing. And thus, we need to analyze what is one to do in such a situation. So at the onset, one would think that, hey, you didn't say the right blessing. How can you be yotze Hadama on a Hamotzi food? Or Hadama on a mezonos food? It's the wrong blessing, you gotta do it again. The only problem is that we find a precedent in which lower blessings cover higher blessings if said by mistake. Such as, for example, the bracha of shahakol, which b'di'evid is motzi all other products if it was said accidentally. So perhaps just as we rule that one who said shahakol on bread or on mezonos is yotze, so too if he said hadama or mezonos. So what do the poskim actually have to say regarding this case scenario? So indeed, as you may have hunched, this matter is a debate amongst the poskim, with some poskim citing that one is yotze the bracha of a hamotzi or mezonos food, even if he said by mistake hadama or mezonos, and other poskim stating that he does not fulfill his obligation and thereby he must repeat the hamotzi on the hamotzi food and the mezonos on the mezonos food. Who holds of which opinion? So, for the approach that the bracha of hadama and mezonos exempt b'di'evid hamotzi and mezonos products, is the ruling found in the Kesef Mishnah of the Beis Yosef on his commentary on the Rambam in Hilchos Brachos, chapter 4, halacha 6, and so rules the Rameh and Alfasi Zuta, brought in the Birkei Yosef and Shari Tshuva, and so rules the Panim Meidus, Erech HaShulchan, Shulchanaruchharav, Divrei Menachem, Beis Menucha, the Chaya Adam and Nishmas Adam, the Sdei Chemed, Shulchanaruchharav, and other Achreinim. In addition, possibly all those Rishayim and Achreinim who rule in the case that one said mezonos on Hamotzi bread, that one is yotze, would likewise rule that if you said hadama on hamotzi or said hadama on mezonos, that one is likewise yotze. On the other side of the debate, the blessing of hadama or mezonos does not fulfill the obligation for hamotzi over bread, and hadama does not fulfill the obligation for a mezonos food. So hold a number of Rishonim, the Ra'ah, the Ritva, Rabbeinu Asher ben Chaim, the Birchas Habayis, and so would rule the many poskim who rule regarding the case that if you said mezonos on bread, you're not yotze. So too they would agree that if you said hadama on bread or on mezonos, that you are not yotze. Now, what is the ruling of the Shulchanaruchharav of the Alter Rebbe and the Chabad custom and ruling? So this matter is under tremendous unclarity, not because the Alter Rebbe did not voice his opinion on this question, but because he did too many times, hence forming contradictory views. In the Luach Birchas Hanenin, which was the second publishing of Laws of Brachas of the Alter Rebbe, which followed his Shulchan Aruch, he rules in chapter 1, halacha 2 and 1.3, that one who says hadama on mezonos or says hadama on hamotzi is not yotze, does not fulfill his obligation, and must repeat the correct blessing of hamotzi and mezonos. And so is likewise the implied ruling of the Alter Rebbe in Seder Birchas Hanenin in chapter 1, halacha 4 and 110, as explained in the Ktseisa Shulchan 49, footnote 1. The only problem is that when the Alter Rebbe discussed this main ruling in the Seder Birchas Hanenin in chapter 1, halacha 3, which is his last book of halachic codes on the laws of blessings, and is his final ruling on these matters, he completely omits the discussion. And while he discusses a debate whether you yotze if you said mezonos on bread, he completely omits any question of hadama. And indeed, his grandson, the Tzemach Tzedek, in Chidushei Tzemach Tzedek Brachos, chapter 9:14, states explicitly that one who says hadama on bread or on mezonos fulfills his obligation without any doubt, just like you fulfill by shahakol. Practically, what do we do? How do we rule? So as is the general rule in any case of doubt or question by a bracha, we rule safek brachos lahakol. And therefore, if you accidentally set a dam on a Mezonos product or on a Hamotzi product, you fulfill your obligation b'diavad, and you are not allowed to repeat the blessing. So concludes the Kseiso Shulchan in chapter 37, halacha 10, and in 49, footnote 1, and so likewise rules the Kaf HaChaim in 167.76, as well as Piskei Teshuvos 167.21. Nonetheless, we are still faced by a dilemma of how can it now eat this product if some poskim say I didn't say a bracha on it. And especially if someone said hadama on the Hamotzi, he possibly is now eating an entire meal without a bracha. So there's a few ways to circumvent this issue and go according to everybody. The first suggestion is brought by the Kseiso Shulchan: candy. Take a piece of sugar, say a bracha of shehakol, and explicitly intend to exempt the Mezonos or Hamotzi food that you accidentally set adama on. And then it's covered according to everyone, at least b'diavad. Alternatively, you have a friend that's sitting down to eat the Mezonos or the Hamotzi as well. Ask him to be mitzi you with the blessing. So to summarize this halacha, one who accidentally said the bracha of hadama on a Mezonos food or on Hamotzi bread is yaitze and is not to repeat the bracha on the food. However, it's proper for him to say shehakol on another food and have in mind to include the Mezonos or Hamotzi food in it.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.